corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record.
What's up, fellas? It's your boy Crossover MMA back with another video. And this Saturday, August 17th, we have UFC 305. And in the main event, we have Dricus du Plessis defending the middleweight title against Israel Adesanya. Now, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. I know why you're here. And yes, Israel Adesanya won't win at UFC 305. We're going to explore how Dricus du Plessis could pull off the upset and defeat Israel Adesanya. Let's get right into it. So Dricus du Plessis, let's get into his strengths. So DDP is a relentless powerhouse of a fighter. He's got serious knockout power in both hands. He's not afraid to march forward, turning every fight into a brawl. His aggressive style has earned him a string of impressive wins in the UFC, and he's been counted out each time along the way. What also sets DDP apart is his ability to mix things up. He's not just a striker. He also has a solid grappling game, and he can handle himself on the mat, and honestly, just wherever the fight goes, like, he can handle himself. That versatility is what makes him very dangerous for anyone. One of DDP's best assets is his pressure. That awkwardness, he's very unorthodox, and he just puts a lot of pressure on guys. He's constantly moving forward, forcing his opponents to fight off the back foot. Against Izzy, this pressure will be key if DDP wants to neutralize Izzy's striking and keep him uncomfortable. As we saw in the Sean Strickland fight and in the Alex Pereira fights with Israel Adesanya. Alex showed that if you come forward and you're not overcommitting and you're just slow, methodically coming forward, you can definitely make Israel Adesanya uncomfortable. You can make him fight on the back foot, and you can force him to the cage. Now, Izzy is a phenomenal striker, that's no doubt, but he's not without his flaws. There are two things that DDP can exploit and attack. One being Izzy's legs with leg kicks. Now, we all know Israel Adesanya is a very good leg kicker. But on the flip side, you also can kick his legs. Alex Pereira showed this. Sean Strickland, not so much. It was more so like he was checking Izzy's leg kicks, but you have to return some of the leg kicks to Izzy to try and slow him down, because his footwork and his speed and his distance management can really give you trouble if you don't slow him down. And then on top of it, you have to stay in boxing range without overcommitting. And in the Sean Strickland fight, that's pretty much what we saw. Like, Sean Strickland just stayed in Israel Adesanya's face the entire fight. He never allowed Izzy to get that room to really unlock his full repertoire of weapons. The kicks weren't really landing. And then once the kicks weren't landing and Izzy couldn't get his rangefinders, the boxing wasn't there. When Izzy has to just go off of his boxing, you take away so much of his game and you put him in a box and you make him a lot easier to deal with. We saw against Alex and Jan Blachowicz a little bit that Izzy is susceptible to leg kicks. And typically when someone is good at doing something, it's good to do that thing back to them to see how they handle it. And this is proven something available to Izzy's opponents and serves as a way, like I said earlier, to slow him down. So Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland showed that if you have to keep Izzy in boxing range. It's easier said than done, but that's the method to beating him. Like, we've seen it, and that's what it is. And the added bonus of the leg kicks and staying relatively close to Izzy is that he's not able to kick you when you're in boxing range. Like, you negate his kicking game altogether, and it's literally just boxing. Izzy's knockouts come from people typically overcommitting and getting caught. The Robert Whittaker knockout. Robert Whittaker was charging at Izzy, overcommitting, and then he got caught with a hook. Alex Pereira, same thing. Had Izzy up against the cage, was landing big strikes, was getting comfortable, and overcommitting, and Izzy caught him and put him to sleep. So staying in boxing range really, really is a big thing when it comes to pressuring Izzy. We've seen him get caught up against the fence, even with Sean Strickland in the first round of their fight, when Sean Strickland landed that big right hand in the first round and totally set the tone of the fight. So I think that will be critical to DDP's success. DDP will need to apply similar pressure to be successful. So on top of that, what are 3 major keys for DDP to get a victory on Saturday night? Number 1, it's relentless pressure, mixing up the attacks, and then at some point taking the fight to the ground. So as I was just saying, DDP has to apply this constant pressure, kind of similar to what Belal Muhammad did to Leon Edwards. Belal Muhammad was very forward, and he used a little bit more wrestling. Now, I'm not saying DDP has to do that. I don't think he's that kind of fighter. But that's the same type of way he has to go about dealing with such a technical, creative striker in Israel Adesanya. You can't let him get comfortable in the fight, just like Belal Muhammad never allowed Leon Edwards to get comfortable in their fight. DDP is going to have to cut off the octagon, force Izzy on the back foot by applying this forward pressure. And then with that, DDP can disrupt Izzy's rhythm and can create openings for himself to land some power shots. And DDP's got to utilize his entire skill set in this fight. This is an MMA fight. He's going to have to make this dirty, make it an ugly fight, get in the clinch, shoot for some takedowns, go for some trips, go for a little bit of everything. You don't want this fight looking technical and pretty, because if you do, DDP is going to be in Israel Adesanya's world, and that's not where he wants to be. He's got to mix up leg kicks, body shots, takedowns, getting in the clinch. You got to keep Adesanya guessing at all times, because he's trying to do the same thing to you with all the feints, with the stance switches, with the hand fighting, with the low kicks, with the kick feints, like all of that. Izzy's doing that same thing to you. So you need to do those same exact things to him. Maybe not the exact thing that he's doing, but you have to constantly keep him worried about your offense as well. The more unpredictable DDP can be, the harder it will be for Adesanya to find his timing and his range. Lastly, taking the fight to the ground. This might be the best method of victory for DDP. I mean, Izzy has showed solid takedown defense in his entire time in the UFC. But DDP, I think, is going to have a strength advantage in this fight, and he can definitely use that to overpower Izzy in some of the grappling exchanges. If DDP can get Izzy to the ground and keep him there, he can wear him down, possibly even secure a submission, or mix in some ground and pound. I'm not saying he would get a finish, but some ground and pound definitely takes a little bit out of the energy bank, if you will, for Israel Adesanya. And if DD comes out aggressive, pressuring from the opening bell, looking to land leg kicks, body kicks, push Izzy up against the cage, forcing him into uncomfortable positions, as the fight progresses, DDP will mix in some takedowns and just wear down Izzy. Like, I think that's his route to victory. And in my opinion, if DDP does these things, he'll get his hand raised at the end of the night. Now, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Let me hear it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so you never miss an update. UFC 305 should be a great night of fights. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. And until next time.